Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, please make us to move from the unreality to the reality, from the knowledge to the bliss, from the mortality to the immortality. Let me understand I am the divine effulgence. Om, peace, peace, peace. My dear spiritual aspirants, we were all discussing about the Vedantic text, preliminary Vedantic text, that is Tattvabodha. Why should we study Tattvabodha? To understand the technical meaning of each word, or of the process, or of the explanations of Advaita Vedanta, that is the non-dualistic philosophy. When we study advanced text of Advaita Veda, like Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, or Brahma Sutras, we don't understand why the author is telling or why the commentator is explaining in this particular fashion. To equip ourselves to understand the advanced text, we have to study the preliminary text called Prakrana Granthas. So, among few Prakrana Granthas, the preliminary text, one is Tattvabodha, which is widely studied by the students of non dualistic philosophy. We had studied Adhikari, the fit person, the fourfold qualifications we had studied, and we had entered Vishaya. What is the Vishaya, or the subject or topic of this book is Atman. It is one's own self. It is the study of myself. So we had started. And when we started to study the self, the author also is trying to explain what is non-self. That is called anatma in the Sanskrit world, in the Sanskrit word. So while describing the anatma, the author explained three types of bodies: gross body, stula sharira. Stula is gross, sharira means body, shariram. Then sukshma shariram, the subtle body. Then karna shariram, the causal body. And what are they? What is their nature? What constituents? Everything we have studied in detail in 2 classes before. Afterwards, we did study 3 states of experience or 3 states of existence. That is Jagrat, the waking state, Swapna, the dream state experience, and the Sushupti, the deep sleep state experience. After explaining these 2 things, the author is trying to explain now the anatma, the non-self, in the one more view as Panchakosha, the 5 layers of our personality. Kosha means generally it is described, it is explained as covering, as a sheath. That means we have got 5 layers. Mostly was staying in the Ireland, in Dublin, and most European countries, and also, of course, some parts of USA and other parts, where it is a biting cold. We wear the layers, thermal innerwear, then afterwards above that one sweater, above that probably hoodies, and when we go out, we wear a jacket or a coat. So like that, we wear a few layers on our physical body. So is it? Similarly then, so the self, the Atman also has got layers. This type of question may come. Actually, physically we are wearing the thermal innerwear, again a sweater maybe, hoodies, jacket, or a coat we are wearing physically. But here, in this Panchakoshas, five layers, whatever the author is going to tell, it is based on our Taittiriya Upanishad. Physically, there are no five layers which is covering the self. Why? Because these five layers are matter, and the Atman or the self or the spirit is not the matter. It is not an object, it is the subject, it is the conscious, and it is all pervading. There is no place where it is not there. So, the matter cannot cover the consciousness. As a result, so sometimes we misunderstand these five layers are covering the soul or the spirit or the Atman. It is not so. Only to make us understand, the author is telling we have got five layers or five sheaths or five types of personalities. And above this or beyond this, we have got the Atman or the soul or spirit. So, actually, it is the universal error that is because of misidentification or due to the wrong identification with body and mind. We think that I am body, I am mind, I am intellect, I am emotions, etc. etc. So, to remove this wrong idea, to remove this wrong notion, to remove this ignorance, delusion, wrong thinking, the author, based on the Upanishads, is trying to explain the five layer personality or five types of personality or five sheaths which is covering the personality. We have studied already three types of body: gross body, Sthula Sharira; subtle body, Sukshma Shariram; and Karana Shariram, the causal body. So they are classified into three bodies. On what basis? It is based on the matter. The gross body is made up of gross matter. The subtle body was made up of subtle body is made up of subtle matter, and the causal body is made up of causal matter. So based on the matter, it was divided. And also physically it exists too, at least for our perception it exists, because we are able to see, we are able to perceive, we are able to sense the physical body at least. Whereas these five sheets, five layers, five covers, we don't see physically, just like we see physically the physical body. Then, on what basis this five layered personality, Panchakosha, has been discussed, described, or divided? It is based on the functions. The three types of body was based on the matter, and five types of bodies are five types of sheath, five types of cover, five types of layers, five types of personality is based on the functions. Now you may ask, is it an hypothetical argument or mere hypothetical thinking, or is anyone as experienced? You may ask, because it should be experiential. Anything is there. Yes, every day our experience is saying that. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the great sage, the great incarnation of the modern age, describes about these five types of personality thus, quote, the indivisible Satchidananda, I see it both inside and outside. It has merely assumed this sheath, that is body, for a support and exists both inside and outside. I clearly perceive this. I see you all so many sheaths and the heads are moving. So whatever the Upanishads have said, that we have got five sheaths, etc., that has been experienced by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the greatest saint of this modern age. So it is not mere hypothetical argument, it is not mere thinking, it is not mere logical reasoning, it is also based on experience. This idea, this notion, this theory has developed. Having given such a introduction, let me go into the Panchakoshas, that is five sheets or five coverings. Panchakoshaha ke. The author is himself is questioning. What are these five sheets? Annamayaha, the food sheath, Pranamayaha, the vital air sheath, Manomayaha, the mind sheath, Vijnanamayaha, the intellectual sheath, and Anandamayaha cha iti, and the bliss sheath. Here everywhere, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Maya, it is coming. What is this? Maya, it comes from Mayata, means it is nothing but, it is Vikara. It is a modification. So the Annamaya means Maya, the modification. This food sheath layer has been formed from the modification of the food. So Maya means Vikara. And also some say that kosha is nothing but a covering, a jacket like. But a Panchadashi, a scripture based on Advaita Vedanta, it describes these five sheets as a cave in which truth is hidden. Now you may also think, you may also feel, if there is not at all these five sheets, is it not an imagination? Or why is it that author is telling all these things? What is the necessity to understand all these things? Because according to the Advaita, the Atman alone is true and everything else is appearance. Swamiji, you yourself you've told, based on Tattvabodha text. Then is it not all head-boggling or mind-boggling? Why should we study all these things? So definitely, any one of us, we may feel, we may get this question in our mind. Why author is telling this and why sages have adopted this technique? Because to make us understand that I am the Atman and the Atman cannot be any of these bodies or whatever. So to remove the ignorance, because the ignorance has become so strong in us, how much ever listen, many times we are not able to remove it. We are not able to think that yes, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. So to make us understand, the author or the sages are trying to describe in different forms. So this Panchakosha, the five layer is also the technique by which the sages are trying to remove the ignorance or the misconceptions about the self which is in our mind, which is in our intellect, which is in our thinking. So Atman alone is true. Then why should I study? Why should I struggle all this with all these concepts? If you feel so, it is just to remove the misconception. It is one of the technique. I told one of the text already, Panchadashi. There are 15 types of techniques has been explained there. So among them, this is also one of the technique, Panchakosha. Now author is trying to explain what are these koshas, what are these layers, what are these coverings. Annamayaha kaha. What is the food sheath? That which comes into being owing to the essence of food, that which is sustained, that which comes out from the essence of food, that which is sustained from the essence of food, and that which decays or goes back to the earth, which is also of the nature of food, is called the physical body or the food sheath. Means from food, this physical body or the Annamaya, that is food sheath, has aroused, has arisen, and with the help of food essence, it sustains, and after its death, when it starts decaying, it disintegrates into the earth from where the food comes. So from food it has come, from food it sustains, and to the earth from where the food comes, the source of the food, there it gets disintegrates, according to the author. Then how to understand this physical body or the food sheath? Our skin, flesh, blood, nerves, tendons, fat, marrow, bone marrow, bones, all of waste products, everything belongs to this physical body or the food sheath. So, author is indirectly he is telling that, see, when you are say you are Atman, and when you see the nature of this Annamaya kosha, that is food sheath, so skin, flesh, blood, nerves, marrow, and tendons, bones, and waste, all these things, can you be? You cannot be. So, why are you getting attached to this body, physical body, or the food sheath? For an example, we stand in front of mirror and we make a makeup and we spend so much money, time, energy for this cosmetics and for making up ourselves. Why? Because we have got misidentification with the physical body. I feel that I am the body. I have the body fine, but sometimes or many times, most of the times, I am feeling that I am the body because it is a misconception. A psychologist says, youths especially, during one day in the mirror, of course mirror also it stands with the today's mobile phone also, because my mobile phone has got beautiful screen guard or screen, so there also people will be looking at and they'll be looking their hairstyle. Of course I don't have hairstyle, but who has got hairstyle, I'm saying. So hairstyle and their face, whether everything looks like, and some do their mustache properly, caps properly, etc, etc, etc. Why? Because of misidentification with the body. I should look nice. So I am judged by my physical body. This is what the wrong conception, misconception. So the psychologist says, probably few hundred times every youth looks after himself, his physical body in the mirror. So such a strong misidentification has happened with the body for us. That's why the author is telling that you cannot be bone, you cannot be flesh, you cannot be bone marrow, you cannot be nerves, isn't it? You cannot be external things. That's the reason you are not the physical body or you are not the food sheath. To make us understand, the author is explaining the whole constituents or the nature of the white food sheath. Then what it is? Already we said its nature, I mean, skin, flesh, blood. It is an instrument for our achievements. It is an instrument for our enjoying and for our suffering. It is an instrument for fructification of our results of action. That is what? Karma pala. So it is a beautiful instrument. We have to look after well. We should not neglect, definitely. Sharira madhyam kaludharma sadhanam. The first sadhana, the first spiritual practice is to take care of the body. The same Upanishads have told. Are? One side you are telling that I am not this physical body, and you are saying that the same Upanishads are telling that the first spiritual practice is to take care of this physical body. Is it not contradictory then? No. So it is a wonderful instrument given by nature or created by God as an instrument to enjoy or suffer or for our achievements. So use it as an instrument, don't get attached with it. That's what the author is, or our sages are meaning, are they meant. So attachment to it is a wrong thing. We have to take care of it, because by that alone, with this physical body, we have to achieve many things. Even for emancipation, we need physical body. Without it, we cannot. So it is an instrument. Understand it. Don't attach to it. Take care of it. So the anatomy of the physical body is called Annamaya Kosha. Then the second kosha, sheath or layer is what? Pranamaya Kosha. So Pranamaya Kaha. What is the vital air sheath? So the physical body or the grass body is Annamaya, food sheath, and this Pranamaya is the part of subtle body, it seems. So what is Pranamaya? What is the vital air sheath? Pranadhyaha panchavayavaha vagindriya panchakam pranamayaha koshaha. I know that it is in Sanskrit. Most of us, we don't understand. I'm telling the English translation. The five physiological functions such as prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, together with the organs of function, namely speech, etc., from the pranamaya kosha, the vital air sheath has come. And in the chat, we have given one link. By pressing the link, definitely you will be able to get the Tattvabodha PDF text. So if any one of you want, it is in a Sanskrit and English. Try to download the Tattvabodha text so that when I chant, one of our devotee, Dharmat, he suggested me that, Swamiji, when you are chanting or when you are explaining the Sanskrit terms, sometimes it is difficult for us to follow. Why don't you give the text for us? As a result, so we have one of us, we have, I think in the chat group, we have given the link. If you are unable to find, please, you can press the link and you can download the PDF book so that whenever telling the Sanskrit slokas, you'll be able to follow and you'll be able to learn the things in a better way. If you have not got, please text after the class. Again, once more, we shall post the PDF link of this Tattvabodha text. We have already seen what are these 5 pranas. There is only one prana, but based on its function, it has been divided into 5 types. Prana, among the prana, one type of prana, one function is called prana. The function is respiration. And apana, evacuation or rejection. Evacuation means removal of all dirts, we know. Vyana, the circulation. Udana, reaction. And samana, assimilation or digestion. So these 5 pranas and 5 organs of function, walk, speech, hearing, seeing, smelling, tongue tasting and touching, these 5 organs of function, both are called pranamaya kosha. Means here the identification of the self with the prana. What is this prana? It is nothing but the life force. Energy, in the scientific language, if you want me to put, it is nothing but energy. When we go, especially when we climb, if you climb Himalayas, especially with, like, for an example, Kedar, when you go so many thousands of 15,000, 20,000 feet high, what happens? Your head gets severe headache, you get, and breathlessness, it happens. Your energy goes down. Normally, you are able to walk easily kilometers, but there you feel tired. Why? Because of prana. The prana shakti, the energy is going down. As a result, very fast you become tired. You feel like sitting. You feel like having maybe a sip of water, and your headache will be there. So different type of experiences, reactions will be there for the people who climb Himalayas. Why? Because their prana shakti is going down there. Oh, I'm feeling not okay today. I've got headache. So I'm not interested in studies today. I'm feeling tired. I'm not interested in any type of work today. Why? Because my energy level is down. That means what? My prana shakti is down. For example, I'm very enthusiastic. My mind is so happy. Even my body has got, some physical body has got a problem. For an example, I've got a fever. But still I don't mind because I'm enthusiastic. I will play the football. I will play cricket. I will study. I will go and work. Why? Because my pranic energy, the energy is so high, the physical body, though it is weak, I don't mind. So the prana, the energy part, is much subtler, more subtler than the physical body. So when you become more and more subtle, that means what? You get a lot of energy. That's why you see muscles, if you see, it has more energy than the skin. When you see the nerves, it has got more energy than the muscles even. Why? Because they are becoming finer, they have got more and more energy. If you got a cut on muscle, a day or 2 or 3 is enough to cure. But as if you have got a nerve cut on the nerve, that will take few months. And if you have got a cut on the bone, then it will take still more. So the identification of self with the vital air sheath or the energy air sheath is nothing but the pranamaya. I am hungry, I am thirsty, I am strong, I am weak. Means I'm strong. Physical strong is also there. I'm not saying that with the energy level strong, energy level weak. I'm saying that is also. And there's a beautiful story which comes in Kenopanishad. I think it is in Kenopanishad or in one of the Upanishads. The story goes like this. The five sense organs of knowledge, Jnanendriyas, they were fighting each other, it seems. I am supreme. The I was saying, it seems, I am supreme. Because I see the world, that's why you people are getting the knowledge, so I is supreme. The ear said, it seems, no, no, no. Because I hear a wonderful music and also that you are getting a knowledge, so that I am supreme. Then the tongue said, whatever it may be, if I don't eat, if I don't take the food, then your energy goes down, so I am supreme. Then the skin said, no, no, because of my covering, everything is there. Otherwise, you people would have been exposed, so I am supreme. So, like that, among the five sense organs of knowledge, they were fighting each other that I am supreme and I am independent. The prana was seeing this thing as a witness. Once he thought, I will teach all of these people a lesson, and he started moving away from the body. What happens? Immediately, all the senses were pulled and they were losing the energy. Immediately they said, it seems, oh, now we understood that you are the great, supreme, than all us. Because if the prana is there, the energy is there, the senses can work. If the energy goes away from this body, then the senses, whether it's there or not, it doesn't make any sense. So, prana, you are the supreme than all of us. That's the reason we accept your supremacy or supremacy. Then the prana laughed and said, okay, now you have understood the truth. So let us coexist and let us help the individual soul. Let us not fight each other. That is a story. Means the prana is much more subtler, much more stronger than the physical body or the senses. To make us understand, they have told this story. Then you may feel prana is not merely breathe. So we breathe, inhale and exhale we do. So it is the prana? No, it is not only that. It is the energy that is flowing all through our body. There are a lot many functions depending on that. And they say that this prana energy, the energy, it is at the individual level, it is called Veshti, and when if it is at the level of Samashti, it is called Cosmos. They have got Cosmos prana also and individual prana also. So this Pancha Pranas, basically, it gives energy. It is like fuel of the vehicle or fuel for the vehicle. The physical body is the physical components, physical parts of the vehicle, and the food are the fuel energy for the prana is energy for our body, and there it is the like fuel, food and as well as energy also. And also they tell that it is the physiological function of the body can be explained as this Pranamaya kosha, that is vital air sheath. Here, the senses are nothing but the karmendriyas are nothing but the tools, and pancha prana is energy. So energy plus tools, that means what? Kriya Shakti. So this pranamaya kosha is a part of subtle body. And the next kosha is the third one, which is manomaya kosha. Means mind layer sheath, mind layer or mind sheath. It is psychological function of the body. Mind we say, that's what here. Our emotions, doubting faculty, Icha Shakti, willing power, volition, we say, that is the part of that is one of the function of the Manomaya Kosha. You have got emotions. I'm happy, I'm unhappy. I'm joyful and I'm morose. All these are functional part of the Manomaya Kosha. I've got doubts whether I should do this or I should not do this. Why should I do this? If I do this, what happens? If I don't do this, happens. This type of thinking, doubting, all these things are there. These are the functions of Manomaya Kosha. And Icha Shakti, volition. Yes, I will do it, whatever it may happen. I will do it. It is, nothing is impossible to me. So that is what the part of Manomaya Kosha. And Manomaya Kosha pushes the Pranamaya Kosha into the action because the desires, you see. If you've got an intense desire, even I'm weak, my energy is not to that optimum level, but still I will try to work. Why? Because of desire. I want to stand first in my graduation, whatever it may be. Fine. I may be feeling fever, my energy level is not good because of fever, but because of that intense desire that I should stand first during my graduation, then I will start working. My physical energy or the vital energy doesn't come into picture. If my volition is strong, Ichha Shakti, if it is strong. So, what is this Manomaya Kosha? What is this mental sheath all about? So, the author is explaining that Manascha Jnanendriya Panchakam Militva Bhavati Sa Manomaya Kosha. The Manomaya Kosha, the mental sheath, is formed out of the Manascha, mind, and Jnanendriya Panchakam, five sense organs of knowledge. So, what is Manomaya Kosha? The mental sheath. The mental sheath is the compound of, or the combination of the mind, and as well as five sense organs of knowledge. How it is formed then, if you ask? According to the Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy, when we consume food, the grosser portion of the body goes as a waste, and the gross portion of the food is translated or is formed as muscles and energy, it seems, and the subtle portion of the food is formed, mind is formed, and the semen is formed from the subtle portion of the body. Subtle portion of the food. So this Manomaya Kosha is also the part of the subtle body. I am happy. I am unhappy. I want to eat chocolate. I want ice cream. All these type of desires, emotions, feelings, doubting faculty, all these are the parts of Manomaya Kosha. So whether we have got Manomaya Kosha or not, yes, from functional aspect, we can very well understand that, yes, we can. We are having it. The fourth kosha, the fourth layer, the fourth sheath is what now? The fourth one is Vijnanamaya kosha, the intellectual sheath. Vijnanamaya kaha. What is the intellectual sheath? Buddhi Gnanendriya Panchakam Militva Yo Bhavati Sa Vijnanamaya kosha. The intellectual sheath is nothing but buddhi, the intellect, along with Gnanendriya Panchakam, five organs of perception, together forms the intellectual sheath. There also, Manas, they said, buddhi is said. So, what is the difference? Actually, there's only one mind. Based on its functions, it has been described, or it has been differentiated, it has been divided into buddhi and manas. Here buddhi means nishchayatmaka buddhi, deciding faculty. Yes, I will do this, I will not do this, I should do this, I should not do this. This type of decisive faculty, functional aspect of the mind is called buddhi, along with five organs of perception. Same, both are previous kosha and this kosha, previous sheath and this sheath is same, except there also mana and Gnanendriya, they said, here buddhi and Gnanendriya Panchakam, both are more or less same. Here intellect is the deciding faculty. And what is the function? The doership. I am doing. Who did this work? I did this. So this karta, the sense of doership is very prominent in this particular sheath, particular layer. And cognition. I get so much experience, so much knowledge. I got a knowledge about mobile. I got a knowledge about thermodynamics. I got a knowledge about the water object. I got a knowledge about this particular, maybe Tara Hills in the Dublin. Why? Because of the cognition, cognitive faculty that belongs to, that function belongs to this Vijnanamaya Kosha. And it is also part of the Sukshma Sharira, or the subtle body. In the gross body or the physical body, there's only one sheath, that is Annamaya Kosha, or the food sheath. Whereas the Sukshma Shariram, the subtle body has got three koshas. One is Pranamaya Kosha, that is vital air sheath, Manomaya Kosha, the mind sheath, and Vijnanamaya Kosha, that is intellectual sheath. So first gross body has got only one sheath. The second body, that is the Sukshma Shariram, has got three sheaths. So four sheaths are over. And the last sheath, the fifth sheath, The fifth layer, the fifth covering is bliss sheath. What is that? Anandamayaha kaha. What is this bliss sheath? Evameva karna sharira bhuta avidya avidyastha malina sattvam priyadi vritti sahitam sat anandamaya kosha. Just I will give the running meaning. Don't worry about much of Sanskrit because everyone will not be able to follow Sanskrit. I know that. Established in avidya, that is ignorance, which is of the form of the causal body produced from impure nature, that is united with the vrittis like priya, moda, pramoda, expression. Means just if you ask me, the Atman plus ignorance is nothing but the Anandamaya kosha. Or rather, no, Atman plus ignorance is called causal body we have seen. The whatever the ignorance we have seen, the Atman is covered by an ignorance, whatever we have seen earlier, that ignorance is called Anandamaya kosha. Then why, if it is ignorance, why it is called bliss sheath? Why it is called Anandamaya then? Because it is very nearer to the Atman. If you compare to vital air sheath, food sheath, mind sheath, this Anandamaya kosha, the bliss sheath is the nearest to the Atman. That's why it will be, the consciousness is reflected more in this sheath. That's why it is called Anandamaya. How to understand this? How to, have we experienced this? Have you experienced this? Can we experience this? Yes. How? Your deep sleep state. That is what Sushupti we see. In deep sleep state, what do we experience? We experience nothing. If we experience something, then it cannot be deep sleep state at all. Oh, I had a wonderful sleep yesterday night. I slept at 10 o'clock. And when I opened my eyes, when I came to my conscious, I saw it was morning 6 p.m. The whole night, what happened, I don't know. Means our physical body, subtle body, everything was in complete rest. Our mind, senses, everything was under complete rest. I was not aware at all. Means I was completely ignorant what happened at that time. So the experience of ignorance, every one of us we have got. So that is what Anandamaya means. Atman plus Ajnana. When we say Karna Sharira, that Ajnana is the Anandamaya kosha. So modifications of deer. So when you hear all these things, then you may feel, then that means what? Atman is there. Atman above this Anandamaya Sharira, Anandamaya Kosha has been formed, covered. Afterwards, then Manomaya Kosha, the mental sheath has been covered. Above that, then Pranamaya Kosha, the vital air sheath is covered. Above that, Annamaya Kosha, food sheath is covered. So like that, is it progressive in nature? No. All are independent. They are not covered one after another. It is only functional aspect. Based on the functional aspect, it has been described, it has been differentiated. And to remove the misconception about anatma, about the non-self, so author is telling, so it is not exactly the Atman is there and it has been covering. For example, I have got my hand, above hand there is one thermal wear, and the hoodies and one more shirt. So these three layers are there. So like that, there's a physical covering on my hand, just like I have got. No, here it is not. Doesn't exist physically. It is only functional aspect. Means what? Misidentification. I am misidentified when I misidentified with this Annamaya Sharira, that physical body, it is with Annamaya Kosha. If I'm misidentified with my mind, then it is Manomaya. If I'm misidentified with the body, Buddhi, it is Vijnanamaya. If I'm misidentified with the energy, then it is Pranamaya. If I'm misidentified with the ignorance, then it is Anandamaya. That's all. So a lot of misidentifications we have. It happens in us, in our life. That is what. And probably in a layman's language, this Anandamaya Kosha can be explained as unconscious personality. So much misconceptions we have got. So much wrong notions we have got. So much ignorance we have got. As a result, we are suffering, we are struggling, and we are taking again and again, birth and death in the cycle of samsara. What is that samsara? The cycle of birth and death. Then the author is telling that Atman is Panchakosha Atita, means the Atman is beyond this Panchakoshas, five sheets, five covers, five layers. Means Atman is not any of these five sheets, any of these five covers, any of these five layers. Why? He gives an example beautifully. If one has the idea that the house, ornaments, and so on are one's own, they do not become the self. So, also, if one has the idea like this is my body, my vital breath, my mind, my intellect, my knowledge, so forth, then they do not become the self. Like, for example, I am driving a car. I am not the car. When I say I own a car, that means what? I and car is separate. I own a house in the Mulhadat, in the Dublin. That means what? I and the house is separate. I am having a mobile. That means what? I and mobile are two different things. Similarly, I am having a body. I am owning this physical body. That means what? I and physical body both are different, are separate. But unfortunately, here we are misconceived. We are confused. When I and mobile, when I say I am not the mobile, we understand. I and house, we are not same, I understand. I have a jewelry. I've got a golden ring. I owe a golden ring. So that means what? I and golden ring, both are different. Yes, why? Because they are detachable. They are detached, of course. So we can understand. But when I say that I owe this physical body, I am not this physical body, when I say that, immediately we may feel some doubt, maybe or may not be, isn't it? I am not body, I owe a body. Similar, just like I owe a vehicle, is it? So to make us understand, they are telling that. That means what? The knower and the known both are different. I am the knower, I am the experiencer, I am the subject, and the object, the experienced and the known, they should be different, isn't it? So that's what the author is trying to explain. So they are all experienced. I experience the physical body, I experience my mind, I experience my intellect, I experience my energy, I experience the ignorance, I experience the happiness, I experience the unhappiness. That means what? I cannot be the happiness, I cannot be the energy, I cannot be the physical body or the food sheath. So I am separate from all of these things. But unfortunate is I have confused with all of these things. Some idea came, immediately I will hold on to it and I'll be happy. If someone comes and say this idea is wrong or bad or whatever, so immediately I react because I feel that they are denying me only. Especially with the great idealists or with the great thinkers, these things happens. Someone scolds me, immediately I feel morose. He is scolding, no doubt, the words about this body. I am not this body. Then he cannot scold me. Then why I should feel morose? But no, we feel it because of misconception, because of wrong idea, because of wrong notions. Now you may feel or you may question, okay, Swamiji, of this misconception, what is the problem? What is the problem, It limits us. It narrows down us. It narrows us. I am the effulgent principle. I am the existence, consciousness. We are going to see that existence, consciousness, bliss absolute. My real nature is the bliss always. But am I? No. Why? Because I am limited because of this intellect. I am all pervading. But am I? No. No. Swami Shantivratananda is in Ayurvedanta Society in Dublin, in Ireland. He's there only. He cannot be in India. He cannot be in United Kingdom. He cannot be in USA. He cannot be in Russia because he is limited by time and space causation. But his real nature is that Atman, where is all pervading. Because of wrong conception, he is also is feeling that he is limited. His energy is limited. He is limited, his energy is limited, everything is limited because of wrong conception, because of misconception. So that's why author is again and again is trying to make us understand. Is trying to tell, please remove these misconceptions. Because you have got misconceptions, that's why you have got a problem. You are getting narrowed down. You are feeling that you are limited. Don't feel that you are limited, you are unlimited. Probably beautifully will what happens we'll be able to understand by this one example. Someone's picture is there, a photo. We don't know whose it is. So my friend took the lighter and he burned that. Just simply. I didn't feel anything because it was someone's picture. And now the same friend with the same lighter is trying to burn my photograph. What happens? Immediately I snatch the photograph. However, it is good or bad. Because I feel that as if I have been burnt there. I don't like that. The situation was same, the person is same, the act is same, but in the first thing we didn't react as if nothing happened. I don't bother, I'm not perturbed because I'm not there. I'm not that. The moment my photo was burnt, my photo was tried to burn, immediately I react because as if he is burning me because of wrong identification. Okay, you are burning my photo. I am not in the photo. I am not the photo. Then why should I bother? Isn't it? Do we tell that? No. Because of wrong conception or misconception, because of doership or because of I and mine. The moment when we goes it, the all our misery goes, all our attachments goes, then we'll be the master. We will be the master for ourselves. Nothing in the world can bind me. Nothing in the world can make me sad. And no person can make me sad. No action, reaction, incident can make me morose. I can be happy at all times, at all given circumstances. Whether I am poor or rich, whether I am beautiful or I am ugly, whether I am an achiever or I am a loser, I can be happy. I can be happy. I can be happy because that is my real nature. But unfortunately, we are not. Every time, so much emotional upheavalings, so much ups and downs is happening in our life. Why? Because of wrong conception, misconception, because of wrong notions. So, three types of bodies, three states of experience, existence, that's avastatraya, and five types of layers or five sheets. All these things, author explained why. Because to make us understand that that is all called anatma, non-self. And you are that atma, you are the spirit, you are the soul. Though there is not a right translation, the spirit or soul for the atman, but still people may not able to understand the Sanskrit word, so I'm using the word spirit or soul. So I am the soul, I am the spirit, I am not this anatma, not the soul, or it is an object. To make us understand, all these explanations were done, and you have to listen for my 3 classes. Now then, what is the next then? We probably to some extent, we have understood what is anatma, what is non-self, what is non-spirit. Then the author is telling that, so probably you have got a good idea, a fair knowledge about non-self. Then let me explain what is self now. Anatma has been explained. Now let me explain what is Atma. Tarhi, then Atma kaha. What is the Atman then? Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha Atma. The Atman is Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. The nature of Atman is existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. And this Satchit Ananda is being taken by, it is often quoted everywhere. It is taken by where? It is taken by Tejo Bindu Upanishad. In one of the 108 Upanishads, there is Upanishad by name Tejo Bindu Upanishad. Tejo Bindu Upanishad describes the nature of the Atman as Satchidananda. So that has been taken by author of the Tattvabodha text. And it is often quoted. What is the nature of Atman? It is called Sachidananda, Sachidananda, Sachidananda. It is also referred as even the nature of the God also, because in the Advaita philosophy, the non-dualistic philosophy, essentially there is no difference between either the individual soul and also the supreme soul, essentially, potentially, that we have to understand. So after discussing all these things, he's telling what is the nature of self. The nature of the self is Sat Chit Ananda, that is existence, consciousness or knowledge, and bliss. So I think heavy dose is being given now. So in the next class, let us try to understand what is Atma then. In the three class, we did try to understand what is non-self, what is Anatma. And in the next class, we shall try to understand what is self, what is Atman, or what is Brahman. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.